I decided today to do a video on Disney related, and I was going to do a video on the pros and cons to staying on site and off site. So whether on site meaning on a Disney hotel, or off site meaning anywhere up International Drive or Lake Buena Vista or Kissimmee, anywhere not Disney basically. So obviously I'm cheating slightly with regards to talking about this, because whenever I've been to Disney I've always stayed off site, just because of obviously villas locally and people that I know, and obviously it does help to kind of cut back the costs a little bit. So I am cheating slightly. However, the next time I go to Disney we are planning to stay in a Disney hotel, so obviously I'll have a bit more of a clearer idea then. But obviously a lot of the pros and cons are reasons that led us to kind of make this decision in terms of our booking. So yeah, before I kind of go into the whole pros and cons situation, with the Disney hotels there are different kind of levels, if you like, of a Disney hotel. So there's 3 different types. There's value, moderate and deluxe. So the value meaning hotels like the All-Star Sports Resort, Music and Movies, Art of Animation, Pop Century, I think that's it. There might be more, I'm not sure. And the moderate meaning things like Caribbean Beach Resort, Coronado Springs, Port Orleans. I know that there isn't many of the moderate, because value there's sort of not as much choice, but a bit more than moderate. I think moderate's that kind of medium, not quite. So basically value would be considered like a 3-star hotel, moderate is considered 4-star, and then you've got deluxe, which is the 5-star range. Now deluxe is obviously hotels like the Grand Floridian, Animal Kingdom Lodge, the Polynesian, Contemporary, and there's one more, I can't remember, but basically they're all kind of spread out amongst the resort, and my understanding is that you've got Magic Kingdom right at the top. You've got then the deluxe hotels all surrounding the Seven Seas Lagoon lake. So you've got Grand Floridian, Polynesian, all of those kind of hotels. There's a reason they're deluxe, it's because they're so close to the parks. They are within the kind of 5-star range. They're very luxurious. They're ideal for obviously if you're going on a honeymoon, because they're a bit more fancy. You get a kind of more like luxurious kind of like experience if you like. I'm Floridian, and I've walked around the Polynesian before, and they're very nice. I mean, they're absolutely gorgeous. They are really expensive, so obviously a lot of people would deter you from booking those sort of hotels, because they are really, really expensive, but they are beautiful. You do get the best views of the fireworks at Magic Kingdom, so obviously that's another thing that you're paying for, is maybe one night you don't really want to go to the park, but you might want to sit on the balcony and kind of watch the fireworks and obviously have a little drink and just chill really. So it's kind of a bit more adult themed. You wouldn't necessarily go with children. However, obviously they do character breakfasts and character experiences at these hotels, so it's really what you kind of wish and what you kind of want out of it and what you feel the money is. But it's very, very expensive, but really luxurious at the same time. With the moderate, they are kind of the next ones, so they're slightly further from, say, Magic Kingdom, but they might be closer to your Hollywood Studios, your Animal Kingdom and your Epcot. So they're kind of in the next sort of horseshoe, I would say, but obviously they're not quite in a horseshoe. So yeah, you've got those, and then you've got the value, which are the kind of outer hotels to the whole resort. So you're there kind of closer to your Animal Kingdom water parks, and sort of to Disney Springs, because Disney Springs is sort of right on the kind of outskirts of Disney Resort, so it's kind of on the side here. So yeah, those are kind of brief rundown of the Disney hotels, which leads you on to next with the on-site off-site kind of debate really, I suppose. So Yeah, so I suppose we could go on to the pros of staying on the on-site. Now, the reason why we wanted to go and stay on-site was because obviously when you stay on-site you do get a lot of kind of Disney benefits. So for one, you get airport transfers to and from, so you get the Magical Express. If you stay off-site you wouldn't obviously get that option, but you would have a different transportation service. But obviously this is a Disney kind of booking, so obviously everything will be Disney related. So you get that. And then you obviously get the perks of the Magic Band being your room key. You get the Magic Band being your entrance to the parks. Everything's on your Magic Band, and obviously through your My Disney Experiences, that's where your whole kind of booking for the holiday can take place. So obviously that's a kind of benefit as well. You do also get the kind of experience of being in the Magic at all times. So obviously if you're looking to stay or perhaps go to Universal, it might not necessarily benefit you to stay in a Disney hotel. However, we are planning to go to Universal, SeaWorld and Busch Gardens, but we're just going to look into other ways that we can get to those places. So never say never, but obviously it is helpful to think where you're going to be spending the majority of your time. And realistically with us, we are more likely to spend most of our time in Disney. So that's why we kind of wanted the full Disney experience. You also get magic hours. In certain parks you'd have to check with the My Disney Experience app as to which park is doing the extra magic hours on that day. And also it's within the kind of location wise, so obviously as I said, you're in the Magic, so really it's just a 5-10 minute bus journey for most of the parks, so you really haven't got that much longer to wait to go to the parks. Whereas when you stay off site, it's a bit more of a journey, like it adds on time to your journey, and time in Disney is so precious. You know, you don't have time to be getting buses and taxis places, because if you've got so much that you want to do, it's really difficult to cram it all in, especially if you stay off site. And we've experienced before where days have been just so crazily busy that we've tried to fit everything in and you just can't. So that's sort of another reason why we led on to deciding to stay on site this time. As I mentioned before, cost is very, very important, and obviously with Florida it's expensive anyway to be there, to book it, to all the extras that you need to kind of get. So to make the holiday as cheap as possible, staying off site probably would benefit most people. And if you're going in a group of people, going to villas might be more cost effective, because most of the villas have about like 4 or 5 bedrooms, so they're quite big anyway in themselves. So I definitely kind of recommend those if you're going with a group. And again, if you're going to hire a car, or if you're going to go to Disney World, if you're going to go out of Disney World, so like outlets, shopping, Universal, a lot of those are located around International Drive, Kissimmee kind of area. So definitely worth kind of thinking about. I haven't really looked into the Universal hotels much, but they do obviously, like Disney, have their own hotels. I'm not sure whether they do the same value, moderate or deluxe, so it might be worth checking that. I know that some of them have particular themes, like the Hard Rock Cafe has its own hotel, but I think they're considered within the 4 kind of 5-star range, so they might be luxurious. I'm not sure, and they might do some sort of deal with your booking in terms of park tickets and things, but again, that's not really something that I'm too familiar with, so might be worth looking into that. It doesn't necessarily make it harder work to get to Disney. You still can get to Disney, but it's a bit more of time on your travel. I mean, America does have some fantastic links. They've got, you know, Uber service of the taxi. They've got, so most hotels do shuttle transfers to the parks. However, some of them come at a cost. Some of them have their own timetable, which doesn't always meet the kind of opening times of Magic Kingdom. So it might be that the bus picks you up at, say, 10 o'clock in the morning when the park has opened at 8 o'clock. So that's effectively 2 hours of Disney kind of park time that you've missed. So obviously that can be quite frustrating to some people, especially if you want to kind of do as much as you can. But again, it's kind of about if you're staying off site, it might be beneficial to book a car, to hire a car over there, because driving can be easier. For me, it's confusing, and I probably wouldn't even attempt to kind of explore. I'm not very confident, so yeah, for us it's just not an option. We've always just kind of relied on public transport or taxis or any kind of bus service that we know. But yeah, you do have to do your homework a little bit. Most hotels that are off site, so up International Drive, do offer the free service to Universal and SeaWorld. I think most of them run on a booking basis, so you have to book your space to go onto these shuttle services. They're a bit more adaptable to Universal because they're more Universal hotels. So the earliest one for some of those could be 8 o'clock in the morning, and the park opens at say 8:30, 9 o'clock, so you'll be there for opening. So that's very beneficial. Yeah, so obviously it's just worth doing your homework and thinking, really. And obviously with the Disney, another on-site kind of advantage is that a lot of the value hotels are really good for children. So a lot of them are kind of themed. So you've got your all-stars that are, sort of have character pools and character life-size statues of, like, so good photo opportunities. And I know Art of Animation has the different themed sort of sections. So you've got Little Mermaid, Lion King, Finding Nemo. And I know that the All-Star Movies has Cars, Fantasia, and some other films as well. So it's really good photo opportunities. And I know that Art of Animation has like some Lion King, 101 Dalmatians, I think, and they're all kind of big, like big statues, and you can have pictures with them, and they're very, very good, especially if you've got children and you sort of want to make a bit of fun into your holiday and make it a bit more exciting. So that could be another reason that you want to go to a value Disney, is for your children, because obviously it's much more themed, much more you know, they're a bit more fun, like family friendly, whereas the say deluxe and moderate might not necessarily have as much for children, so it might be worth, they're more for adults kind of thing. And the sort of facilities at the hotels of moderate and deluxe can vary as well, whereas they might have more like jogging trails, bike sport things, spas, whereas the value might have more games rooms and playgrounds and things like that. So just look into it, because I can't really tell you exactly what's right, because what's right for me might be not so much for you, and vice versa. So what's good for you might not work for me. So yeah, just drop me a comment if you have any questions about kind of booking a Disney hotel or Disney holiday in relation to a off-site kind of hotel, and maybe other places that you kind of like in the area. So International Drive, Kissimmee, like I said, they're all fairly cheap, and obviously you can always, it does cut the cost by your holiday by half, and even stay in a villa and things like that. So just drop me a comment if you're interested. All for tonight, guys, then. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you found it very helpful to some extent. It was only very informal and very basic, but obviously there's so much more out there, and you can literally you can go on for this video for days, to be honest. But if there is anything else that you want to know, just drop me a comment, drop me a message, and I hope you liked the video. If you did, like and subscribe to my channel. And if you'd like me to do more Disney related videos, then I'm happy to do that. So that's all for now then. Thank you for watching. Bye.